spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do another girl talk video because my last one went really well. You guys wanted me to do some more. So yeah, basically today I'm going to be talking about my first period. And hopefully you guys can either relate or this is helpful for you guys because I'm going to give you some tips and things like that. So I've written some notes on my phone and I'm just going to go through it with you guys in just a little chat. I thought I'd just film in my kitchen just because I'm always filming upstairs at my desk. Just a bit of different, you know, scenery for you guys. Not very exciting, but what can I do? Can't go anywhere else. Love to sit outside and film in the garden for you, but it's pretty miserable outside today. Yeah, so this is obviously something that you guys will all experience, obviously if you're a girl, because guys don't get periods. But yeah, it sucks, I'm not gonna lie to you. Periods are not great, they're not fun, although some people don't mind them. And I am very jealous of anybody out there who has it for a couple of days and no pain, nothing, and just think, oh, you know, it's just happening. Very jealous of those people. But my first period was when I was 15, I think, and I was going to the New Forest. Well, we were about to go to the New Forest for a walk with my family, and it literally happened only kind of half an hour before we were about to get out the door, maybe not even that. And so I went straight to my mum being like, oh, this has happened, what do we do? And she's like, right. And then we went to like her cupboard and she had like a little stash of different starter kind of tampons and pads and things, sort of just like smaller, lighter absorbency ones. And she was like, you can obviously try whatever you use. My mum's always used tampons because was always a swimmer. So, you know, I mean, can't exactly swim with a pad in. Doesn't really work. Don't try it at home. And yeah, so she obviously gave me the option. It's not anything that you should be told, like you shouldn't be told what you should be using. Can't speak. It's obviously your own decision and what you feel comfortable with. I personally, right from when I started, from day one, I've used tampons and never used pads. I use pads in the evening, like I said in my previous video, if you guys have watched it, because I do get heavy periods and they're horrendous, I'm not gonna lie to you. But yeah, so I use them if I'm out and about for a long time, just as kind of like a backup, and then I use them at night as well, sort of, again, a backup, because no one wants anything in their bed. It's not nice, it's happened plenty of times before, and I can assure you that it's not fun. But yeah, tampons may seem scary to a lot of people who, even at my age, you may not have ever used them in your life and you think, oh, it's not something that I want to do. But honestly, I can reassure you that it's not anything that's scary. As long as you put it in correctly, you won't feel that it's there. You just need to remember to take it out. And I'm sure if most of you get some form of pain, you'll know and you'll remember and sort of work out how many hours in between that, because I think you can have it in for up to 8 hours. Don't count me on that, but I think that's right. Mine never would last that long, so I'm kind of every hour to 3 hours max. But yeah, you kind of just get used to how often you need to change it yourself. My first few periods were fine pain-wise. I didn't really have anything. I had like a little bit of a tummy ache, and that was pretty much it. And it was great for a couple of times. They didn't last very long. It was under a week. And then probably when I was about 16, 17, it all went downhill. But a lot of my friends they'd started their periods at 10, 11 years old. And obviously I hadn't started mine till I was 15. So my body needed like kind of that time to adjust and see what was normal for me. And unfortunately, normal for me is not fun. But yeah, so you guys may have a few questions, so I've written them down. So the first one is, how long will it last? So Google says it should last 3 to 5 days, but you may be like me where it could last up to like 10 days, or you could be like some of my friends where it's 2-3 days, done, barely anything, and it's all over, and it's fabulous. But yeah, as I got older, mine got heavier, they lasted longer, and they were also more painful. When should I expect my next period? So again, like in my previous video, everybody is different. And that is the one thing that you guys can take tips from me, and I can say my story, but everybody is going to be different at the end of the day. And there is not even Google can help you, because if you haven't started your period, or your periods were fine at the beginning and then suddenly they got heavier, like, yeah, go see a doctor, but at the end of the day, everybody's different. So there isn't going to be that you can talk to your friends about it, because your friends' experiences will be completely different to your own. But I use a period tracker app. I was trying to find out where the question thing was on my phone then. I use a period tracker app to, yeah, basically track my period. I put it in when it starts, I add it into the app when it starts, and then when it finishes. And it can take a couple of months for the app to kind of work out when your next period is due. So for the first couple of months, the app might be wrong and you're thinking, what is this? Or you started earlier than what it said, or you've started much later. Don't worry about it. It will take a couple of months, because every month you will start a different time. It's some people that are, you know, bang on between 21 and 28 days, and that, you know, every 28 days they have their period. But for the majority, it will be a different day every month. And you could be a couple of days late, you could be a week late, you could be a week early. Your app will do its best and give you a rough idea of when you're actually due on. And I think that's the best thing. You should always carry stuff with you though, just in case. I've been to so many places, like I've been to a friend's house and I'm like, oh, do you have anything? And luckily, wherever, like most places that you go to, you'll be able to find something, whether it's a local shop that's around the corner. If you're at a restaurant, you just pop to a shop or whatever, you're out and about, there will be a shop. Like, you're not going to be stuck. The only place I can recommend is when you're going to the office or something. I mean, my friend at work, we decided that we've now got I mean, we're not in the office right now because of lockdown, but we did start actually putting a box of tampons in our drawer, because it's just helpful to have when you've got a load of girls in your team, just to have it there as a backup in case anybody's forgotten, you know, it's there in the drawer. So again, I'd recommend that if you are in the office or going to work. But yeah, always have something in your bag. I mean, or in your car, like if you don't have it, don't always take a handbag with you. Wherever you're going, just make sure you've got something with you. What do I need? So I'd recommend at the start to use the light tampons or the thinner kind of pads that you can get. Obviously everything is different, like a different absorbency, and they will say like light, super, super plus, blah blah, all of those. But I would start off light, because what you don't want to do, especially with tampons, is put something in that's too big, and then one, that could be painful, and two, that can give you, can't remember what it's called now. Basically, it's not great for you to use anything that's pad-wise. Obviously, you can use a thick pad. That doesn't do anything. It doesn't make a difference. If you would prefer to have a thick one, then go ahead. But with tampons, you just have to be slightly more careful. There's something called shock syndrome, something. Definitely should have researched this beforehand. Toxic shock syndrome, that's it. And it's not very common, to be honest, but you just have to be careful when using tampons at different sizes, and you don't want to use anything that's too large. So start off small, work out how much you bleed, basically. And if you find that your periods are really heavy, then maybe go up, or you know, if you started off taking them out every 5 hours, 8 hours, like some of my friends can last the whole day with only changing like once a day. I am very envious of those people. But for me, I'm every sort of, like I said, 1 to 3 hours, depending on how bad it is. Then other things you'll need are probably painkillers. So you can use obviously the normal ibuprofen and paracetamol, because those two do work for anybody that has sort of light pain, like just only a little bit of pain, and it does work. It worked with me with my first few periods. I just took sort of paracetamol and it helped. But if you do start getting really painful periods, then you should probably go to the doctor. They can prescribe you something stronger, or you can pick up like Feminax is another one that is actually designed especially just for period pain. You can pick up that. They may have different options like Feminax Plus or Extra or something like that. So those you can just pick up in like a normal supermarket, like a Tesco's or something. They have those. But you can also get something prescribed from your doctor. I was prescribed naproxen at first. That didn't really do a lot for me. And I was given a couple of other things. And then recently, only a couple of weeks ago, I was then prescribed tramadol. Tramadol? Yeah. I was also given codeine a few months back as well. So mine's quite severe. I get quite a lot of pain. I don't know if it's my pain threshold that's really bad or if I genuinely, you know, suffer really badly with it, which I think I do. You know. So yeah, painkillers definitely is something that you need, and you should always really carry them on you because you just never know sometimes when you're going to start. Mine's always a bit of a surprise. And then, will it be painful? So everybody is different, as I've said, and I can't stress that enough. Don't listen to, listen to your friends, take advice from them, watch videos like this, get advice online, but you will be different. So if somebody's saying, like I am, that I experience so much pain, don't worry that that will be you, because the chances are you'll be absolutely fine. But there are a few, like me, out there, and a couple of my friends, that do suffer really badly. My first few were fine. A lot of my friends had no pain, and they still have no pain from it. And then by the time I was, like I said earlier, 16, 17, I started fainting at school a couple of times. It's always on the first or second day of my period that I felt horrendous, and that still is the case now. I have to be careful that I have to start taking my painkillers right at the start when I first start my period, because otherwise the pain gets so bad that I'm then, if I do take a painkiller, I throw it back up straight away, which I can assure you is not fun, and especially if you're in the office, which has happened a few times. But yeah, luckily I haven't actually been sick. No, I have been sick recently from it, a couple of months, last month I think it was, but I luckily didn't faint from it, because that is another thing, and obviously living on my own is rather scary, but it's happened for years now that I just kind of get used to it. It's not something that's I'd want to get used to, but I've just had to deal with it. And then I've got some tips for you guys. So you can actually get some pretty little cases that your pads can go into so that nobody knows when you're out and about, and if you don't want your friends to know, if you're rather shy about it. I'm not shy with my friends. I tell them when I'm on my period, I tell everyone, like, I just don't. It should be that way. It shouldn't be something that you have to feel that you have to hide and that you can't talk about. My friends are very open about it as well. They'll tell me, and it's just something that we've always spoken about. I tell my mum, it just doesn't, it's never bothered me. I think maybe at the start I was a little embarrassed about it, but I soon learned to realise that actually I suffer really badly, and I'd rather have people around me know if I am feeling rubbish from it, because I have had an ambulance to work before for it, and I've had operations, which I'll talk about in another video, because that's another story with things that I found out from scans and things like that. So yeah, basically I've just learnt to accept that mine are pretty bad, and it's best to be honest and open about it, and feel that you've got somebody there to talk to, which is great. So, and if you don't, message me, find me on social media. I am always here to chat if anybody needs, if you don't want to talk to your mum or your friends about it, find somebody else like me online that's just happy to listen or talk it through, reassure you that everything is okay. Another tip that I've got is if you use tampons and not pads like I do during the day, is to, when I'm in the office, I'll just take it out of my bag like discreetly and put it up my sleeve, and then just kind of put my hand like that so that I'm like holding it under my sleeve. Nobody then knows. I think most people do that, to be honest, because nobody really wants to pick up their handbag and walk to the toilet. It's just, yeah, it's like I'm saying, it shouldn't be something you're embarrassed about, but I don't really want the whole office to know that I'm on my period. So that is my trick, that my little tip that I do, is I just put it on my sleeve. Or if you've got a pocket, or if you're going out for a break or going out for lunch, just put one in your pocket, go to the toilet before you go down with your friends to lunch. Perfect. So yeah, I feel like that was a really quick video, although it does actually say 15 minutes. I feel like that was a really quick video, but clearly it's not. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Just a few little tips from me, and yeah, just telling you my experience of my first period. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and be sure to message me on social media or anything. All my links are available in the description. I'm always happy to talk, and I feel that I'm quite, well, easily approachable, and well, I hope I am anyway. So yeah, always available for a little chat if any of you guys want to talk about any of this, and or if you've got any questions that you want me to answer in another video but you don't want to comment it down below, feel free to message and I will openly talk about it in another video. I think I'm going to start doing girl talk videos every Sunday at 5 PM. So yeah, basically that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, comment down below any questions you have, and I will see you guys in my next video. Lots of love, guys. Mwah.